preparation activities and others to establish if there are challenges and try to iron out or brainstorm to ensure that indeed no one lags behind in as far as government programs is concerned. Therefore, it is a climax. We have been witnessing different competitors trying to at least compete in different games, mainly football here where we are. And as I speak now, it is an excitement being driven by the last whistle where there have been competitions in football, both men and women, and in the coming moments we shall be in position to show you who has managed to own up the day. Joining me here is a few leaders who have been closely monitoring not only the football matches but also the mobilization drive by the Honorable Minister Dr. Balamba Rugahara. With me here is one of the local leaders from this area, and I believe he has been moving around with Honorable Balamba Rugahara. He can be in position to share with us what exactly this assessment means in terms of monitoring government projects here in Masindi district, an initiative being spearheaded by the Youth and Children Affairs Minister, Dr. Balamba Rugahara. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, how are you?
Well, I can see the background and the entire mood here is charged. Of course, I understand this is being grown from the football game which has just ended. Let's begin from the football game. How do you see this whole arrangement of organizing such tournaments in Masindi by the Minister of Youth?
To be honest, I'm very delighted to have this type of function. The audience is too much, and we are very happy with it. And we do appreciate the Minister of State for Youth and Children for having created this kind of initiative to supervise the government programs, more so to enterprise the young ones, like in the games, working skills. Now you see, has promoted the games, both boys and girls. It doesn't segregate in terms of religion, Muslims, Catholics, Protestants, and he's even donating to churches. That's what I can say. And above all, he's actually even respecting the kingdom, the Bujola Kala kingdom. Actually, as we gather here, we have the kingdom of whistles, which includes me, and the rest are also there in the yard. Yes.
Let's look at the long week assessment visit by the minister. What is on the ground exactly, in as far as government projects is concerned?
Come again?
When you look at the project assessment, government project assessment on ground by the minister, what is on ground in terms of implementation of government projects?
Okay. In the past, the government programs were not being supervised. But as we talk today, I can as an audit person, I can say supervision is 98%. He has supervised 98% supervision. 98% supervision. Actually, all government programs are up to date, including the accountability. Now people, officers, are now getting to know what is meant by the government program. Why? Because we have a keen and a dedicated supervisor. Yes.
Well, looking at the congregation here is mainly of the youth. What interventions are you doing as leaders to ensure that you don't leave this youth behind?
In fact, in the past, the youth were not being remembered. Nobody would bring them together. I know it once happened in another county, the nearby county, that is Masindi. And that was Honorable Kasumba, left at Kasumba. He was doing the same. Now, when I see Honorable Bala doing this, I feel energy and so pressed. And I actually think give a lot of thanks to the President for having appointed a young man to be the minister in this cabinet. And I pray he continue appointing him as a minister, and many more from the region to be ministers. And one thing I can say, we promise to support the President His Excellency, the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, 99%, if possible, 100% support so that he can maintain his seat. And we actually want none other than NRM candidates when time comes. We pledge to support it.
Thank you. I didn't get your names.
I'm by Owektinisa Kuwarwa Jole Robert in the kingdom. The title in the kingdom, I'm called Omuhabura. So I advise all the religion, all the clans. Yes, please.
Thank you. Well, it is, as you have heard it from, I have with me here is one of the co-MCs of this event. Before we speak, can you just kindly command your DJ to at least lower down this sound so that Ugandans can feel or hear what is exactly we are sharing with you here? Wow. Okay, that's the power of the MC. Wes, you are live on UBC TV. Just share with our viewers what is exactly the cause of all this excitement here in Masindi. And one, the week-long government assessment tour by the Minister of Youth and Children Affairs. What impact is it creating on ground here in Masindi?
The impact it's creating to the people is that when the minister is moving around, he's inquiring whether people are benefiting from government programs like PDM, YLOP, money for the youth, and also for the women and the elderly. And it has come to be true that the money being sent by government, majority of people have received it and are put into good use, apart from some few, maybe who got some sickness with the animals, but with the other projects, they're all moving on well, and people are excited by the mobilization of the Minister, Honorable Rugara Ateni, is to bring people together and make people understand and embrace all government programs. Yes.
What, in your own opinion and understanding, what is really lacking where government needs to improve in terms of service delivery to our community?
Actually, what government needs to do is to ensure that they increase more money. They send 100 million per year for each parish, and households are many. So you find the whole year only households like 100 have received, others remain now. They need to increase that money. We need also to increase on the money for the youth. The youth are many, they are around 68% of the population. They need to increase their percentage, and also the elderly. And I know with that, government should also increase money on water services, because as it was moving around, government has tried to put power in local areas, but not everybody is drinking clean water. Electricity has moved along all the villages, but very few people have still tapped. There is need to reduce the cost of tapping that electricity to the community. Yes.
Thank you. You can go back and do your MC job. Thank you. Well, viewers of UBC TV, these are views from the local leaders here in Masindi district, mainly those who are on the ground, who have moved with the Minister of Youth and Children Affairs. They have said it all, that indeed government is doing something good on ground rather, but of course there are some hurdles, there is room where an improvement is needed, and of course it is a listening government, and that's why leaders like Honorable Baramba comes on ground to do this assessment in terms of how they do the checks and balances. And at the end of the day, as a member of government, he has to write back to the president or all relevant authorities to ensure that they do the checks and balances, and of course do some corrections on what exactly is needed to be done. So I am just being joined here with a few, and that will be the last leader before we hand back to the broadcast house in Kampala. And of course, after this short broadcast, we shall return at exactly 8:50 for another expanded broadcast of this in from Masindi district. This is one of the leaders here in Masindi district. I am meant to understand, okay, Honorable, you can stand here. She will introduce herself. I'm meant to understand either she's the mayor. Kyatutegeddeko Honorable abadde mu kitundu kino. Abadde mu kitundu kino ng'ali mu kwetegereza enteekateeka za gavumenti. Mwe ng'abakulembeze abali wansi abatuuka ku bantu, ki kye mulowooza gavumenti ky'erina okola okulaba nti abantu baffe baganyulwa mu pulojekiti zaayo?
Gavumenti ky'erina kukola kulula abantu baitu baganyulirwemu. Twetaaga bongera esente za PDM na muno muno okucwamu emiruka egyo eri kooto muno habwokuba sente abantu bona bakutunga kurugo mu miruka bakyalawo miruka eri nkoto muno gamako gwa Kiryanga ogwina ebyalo 16 ate okusanga omuruka gw'ebyalo 4 ne kutunga milioni 10 n'ogwina ebyalo 16 ne kutunga milioni 10 so n'osanga ngo abandi baganyirwamu abandi tibaganyirwamu kusaba gavumenti eteekerezeho akongeze sente ale ebicweka ebiri bikoto muno kandi ekonyera abantu ale kibaitaka ekyayizire abantu bakwija from nowhere nibayiba amataka g'abantu simply because abantu baitu tibakusobola ku affording land titles tukusobola gavumenti bwerana esobola kutukonyera etutungire yo land titles niko abantu baitu basobole kuba ne bateekaana.
Ebale nnyo nnyama. Well, those a few remarks from the few leaders we have managed to speak to here. But as we speak now, we are just waiting for the arrival of the chief guest or the chief convener of this public gathering here in Masindi, and that is Honorable Dr. Baramba Rugahara. I've been told he's not far from where we are, and as soon as he makes his way here on the podium, we shall try to speak to him before we hand back to the broadcast house in Kampala. For now, you can see the excitement. Well, that is the arrival or the entry, the grand entry of the chief convener of this public gathering here in Masindi district. That is Honorable Minister Baramba Rugahara being received here. Well, as I said, he has been in Masindi for the entire week monitoring government projects. and this marks the end of the 1 week long tour of his area in Masindi. I don't know if we can just get him. Well, and I want if my camera person can just give me 1 minute here as we wind up this broadcast with the Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, before you just become busy, well, we are going to cross back to Kampala, though we shall come back later. Just 1 minute as we go for the anthems. What is the intention of this public gathering?
We have been doing PDM, Parish Development Model, and other government programs, impact assessment. And I started I've covered 24 villages, 25 villages. I started in Nguragure, Kijweka, Nabisense, Kirianga, Bizi, Kibyama, Katasenywa, Buswera, Rwensa, Chakatabuka, Kalya Senywa, Byerima, Kirianga, Bwita, Butebo, Katendero, Kalyango, Kakwesa, Kamurasi, Kijumbura, Kalera Mairo, Nachamugwera. The purpose of my visit, I've been assessing the impact of the government programs that were put in place by His Excellency the President. So I covered these villages, finding response from the people, knowing how our government programs are performing. And that's the reason why I've been here. So our campaign has taken us about 5 days. I will break off, go back to Kampala to work and do other government role in other regions. I will come back to conclude with Masindi municipality at the end of next month. I'll conclude with Masindi Central.
Before you cross back, what has been on ground? What have you got from ground?
People are happy and excited about the programs that are in place. People are especially happy with PDM, which is equal in all parishes of Uganda. So that is why people are very much excited. There were a few challenges of YALP, where youth who got money never paid back. That has been quite a big challenge, but that will be addressed. I've already informed the IGG and the anti-corruption in charge of State House, General Isoke, and Honorable Madam Betty Kamia, and the CID director to investigate what happened to the money, so that those who took the money can be held accountable and they can pay back. But I want in a special way to thank people of Nyangaya, to thank their leader, the LC3 chairperson of this division, and all the other leaders, the town clerk, the councillors, the organizing committee led by Robert and Sons, the mayor of Chiguria, the mayor of the chairperson of the Chiguria division, the chairperson of Karujubu division, the chairperson of Central division, Bongmin, Komu, and everyone for this good mobilization.
Share that later on. Thank you so much. Well, our viewers of UBC, we can't go beyond here. We want to cross back to the broadcast in Kampala, but of course we shall return here in Masindi later on in the night for the dance and other entertainment here. It is all organized by the Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Dr. Balambarugahara. Back to the broadcast house in Kampala.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.